This spring, are you looking for a more exciting, innovative, and eco-friendly way to start your very own plants from seeds right at home? Are you tired of just putting some soil into that plastic or clay pot, adding some seeds, watering it, and trying to watch it grow? Well, do I have the solution for you? Hello there, my name is Abby Mary, and I am here representing the University of Volusia FFA chapter of Area 3. And today, we're going to be gardening with our garbage and learn how to propagate our very own plants from seeds using pots made from newspaper right at home. So, perhaps you might be wondering, why newspaper? Well, newspaper is a readily available and recyclable resource that's found in the homes of millions of Americans across the country. With some careful folding, some soil, some seeds, and some time, your used newspaper can be transformed into the results of big and beautiful plants that we all want to achieve from our planting projects. It's fast, easy, and fun, and you can get the whole family involved too, for a low cost. Because the youngest of children to the oldest of adults will love a planting project that gets them gardening with their garbage. So, let's get started. First, what will you need to start your very own plants from seeds using the pots made from the newspaper? Well, I have great news. All of your materials and supplies shown here can be either found around your home for free or purchased at your local garden supply center such as Lowe's or Home Depot for a low cost. So, what you'll need for around the home is some newspaper, of course, an empty tin can that can come straight from the recyclables bin, some tape, paper or biodegradable plastic base, and I'll talk about that in a little bit, a permanent marker, a large tray, such as this dinner plate and or cookie baking sheet, and some water. What you'll need from the Garden Supply Center is some seed starting or potting soil mix, and of course, your seeds themselves, number and type depending on how many seedlings you're going to plant and what you're going to use them for. So, once you've gathered all of these materials and supplies, you're ready to get gardening with your garbage. The first thing that you're going to do is to take a single sheet of newspaper off the stack and lay it down out flat vertically in front of you. And then take the newspaper and fold it in half along the vertical axis and crease it down nice and tight, just like so. Then, keeping it lying out on a flat surface, take your empty tin can that came from the recyclables bin and place it at one end of the newspaper. Gently but firmly begin to roll up the newspaper around the sides of your can to create the base of your pot. Once you've rolled up the newspaper, take your tape, tear a piece off, and firmly tape down the newspaper that you've just rolled up that creates the size of your pot. And then take the whole thing and place it onto a hard flat surface and gently begin inverting the sides of the newspaper onto the bottom of the can, as if you were folding it if you were wrapping a present, to create the bottom of your pot. Just press it down nice and tight, and then take another piece of tape, tear it off, and firmly tape down the folds that you just created. So voila, you've created your first newspaper-based plant pot, once you remove the can, of course. So then, repeat this process for however many more pots you'd like to make to start your seedlings in today, and then it's time to begin filling them with soil. Just take your seed starting or potting soil mix that you purchased from the Garden Supply Center, and using whatever it is that you use to scoop your soil, just gently begin filling your newspaper plant pots up, all the way to the top with soil. Pack down on in, nice and tight, so that your seeds will have some place to grow. Being careful not to make a mess. Just like so. Once you've filled up all the pots that you've rolled, folded, and taped up with soil, then it's time to begin planting your seed. But before you can plant your seed, you'll need to choose your seed first if you haven't done so already. Now, I have more great news because virtually any type of vegetable or flowering plant seeds can be started inside of the newspaper plant pots, from azaleas to zinnias. But today, I'm going to be using the marigold seed. The marigold seed is a very hardy plant for Florida as it can withstand extremely high temperatures, long droughts, and does well in full sun, which Florida is definitely plentiful of. But once you've chosen your seed or seeds, and before you open up the package, make sure to take note of the depth to sow on the back of the package. This is placed there by the distributor of your seeds to ensure you, as the home gardener, have an appropriate depth estimation as to how deep to sow your seeds into the soil at for optimum germination. Now for these marigolds, it's approximately 1/4 of an inch. So once you take a note, just open up your seed packet, remove a seed or two, and gently sow the seeds into the soil at that recommended depth to complete the planting process. And then take another piece of tape, tear it off, and apply it to the side of your newspaper plant pots. Using your permanent marker, take it and label your seedling with the name of the crop, which in this case is marigold, and the date, which is 4/25, for future reference in the home garden. And once you've labeled your seedlings, you're ready to find something to put them on to grow. And that would be our large tray, such as this dinner plate, a cookie baking sheet, or even a piece of folded sheet metal. But whatever type of tray you choose, make sure it's going to be able to be durable and hold up for the duration of your planting projects, and be something that can hold water and some soil from when your seedlings are watered. Once you've found your tray, just take each seedling that you've planted and place it onto the tray. And then it's time to water. Just take some water and thoroughly water your seedlings so that they can get a good drink to begin the germination process, just like so. But don't worry if water begins leaking out of the bottom or the sides of the newspaper plant pot. This is because the newspaper is a porous material and acts just as the holes in the bottom of any clay or plastic pot would to provide drainage to your seedling. Once you've watered your seedlings, congratulations, they're ready to grow. But first, you'll need to find a spot around your home to put your seedlings to grow. Now this spot, or wherever it may be, needs to follow a few simple guidelines. It needs to be somewhere where there's lots of light, preferably sunlight, which is essential for almost any plant to grow. Be someplace with a good temperature, nice and warm, not too cool or drafty, and be someplace where your seedlings aren't going to be disturbed by, say, pets or other family members who may not know any better. I recommend a nice high-up sunny windowsill with lots of light if you have one, or an outdoor porch or patio with an optimum temperature to place your seedlings at. But wherever you choose, make sure it follows those guidelines and any others set forth the type of plant you've just planted inside of your newspaper plant pots, and is somewhere where you can be sure to check on your seedlings daily to make sure they're nice and moist, not too dry, and are not disturbed by humans or pets, so that in about a week, your seedlings will have begun the germination process just like these ones. Now, as you can see, these marigolds have begun the germination process with their first stem leaves and have begun their journeys onto becoming the big and beautiful plants that we all want to achieve as results from our planting projects. Just like this one, which is an example of what you can achieve from your seedlings if you continue to give them the tender love and care that they need. But unfortunately, your seedlings can't live in their newspaper plant pots forever. You'll need to transplant or pot up your seedlings, either into the ground or into a pot that's larger, wider, and deeper than your original seedlings. But great news! This process is really simple, as all you have to do is, once you've found your new place of ground or larger pot, just take something and dig a hole down into the soil that's slightly taller and wider than your original seedling. Then just pick a seedling up and remove the piece of tape from the bottom and set it aside. And then gently begin unfolding the folds that you created of the newspaper to create the bottom of your pot. And take the whole thing and place it into the hole that you just dug. Pack some more soil in on around it and give it a good watering, and continue to give it the tender loving care that it needs. This process is so simple because the newspaper and the tape, which is paper-based or biodegradable plastic-based, return to the soil as compost, not only providing valuable nutrients back to the soil, but to your plant as well, as it continues on its journey to becoming the big and beautiful plant that we all want to achieve from our planting project, such as these marigolds. Now, as you can see, these marigolds are quite mature and serve as just one of the many examples of the big and beautiful plants you can achieve from your planting project when you garden with garbage, with lots of leaves, strong stems, and even a few buds, and more to come into the future as well. So, in conclusion, the next time you're thinking about starting your very own plants from seeds right at home, consider gardening with your garbage. It's a more exciting, innovative, and eco-friendly way to start your very own plants from seeds right at home, where you can get the whole family involved too for a low cost. Because the youngest of children to the oldest of adults will love a planting project that you can do when you garden with your garbage. Thank you.